I'm super happy today again to have Jeske Wellmann back again. I'm a registered dietitian for our series of talks for Pregnancy Awareness Week that are brought to you by PregOmega Platinum. PregOmega Platinum, they've also been super kind to our readers and followers. If you participate during the live talk, that's on for the next 10 minutes, one of you is going to win a voucher with 2,500 Rand to spend at Babies R Us. I mean, that's a massive prize. So thank you very much, PregOmega, for that. So Jeske, today's topic is what not to eat. And it sounds very dramatic, but I mean, our magazines have been around, I checked the other day, 28 years. And that has consistently been the most frequently asked question that we get from pregnant readers. The first thing you worry about is, what shouldn't I eat? Like that and how to get my baby on the cover. Those are our two top questions that we're always getting. And I've noticed over the years that there's quite they like some almost like categories, I think in my mind, of things that you shouldn't eat when you're pregnant. But people confuse the categories because the way I have it is certain things are dangerous and certain things are just not good nutrition. So can we start with the things that need maybe to be avoided because they put you in danger? And what is the danger actually?
So the danger part is definitely food that can make the mom sick.
Okay. So food poisoning.
Food poisoning, okay. Doesn't matter what bacteria it causes, but food poisoning.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. So generally that would be animal products, meat products or milk or fish. So always well-cooked food, never raw food.
Okay.
So be careful also, we don't always think about it, but biltong, droewors, those kind of things is also dried. Even though it's cured, it's not cooked. It's not cooked. So be extremely careful to have that. Sushi as well, and especially with the heat, we need to be very careful with food now, because that first in, first out, food hygiene part, extremely, extremely important. And I also think a lot of questions also about unpasteurized and pasteurized milk and milk products and cheeses and so on. So even pasteurized soft cheese, we need to be careful with. Because the outer layer is softer and it can actually attract more moist. And that can also increase the risk of bacteria.
Oh, all right. Okay, so so what are soft cheeses? Is what, cottage cheese, brie? Those kinds of things.
Those kind of things. Yeah. So we need to be careful with those. So if you add it to a meal and it's cooked, that's not a problem. But not raw in a biscuit. Okay. All right. So that's very important with that. Milk, always pasteurized milk for all of us. And I also
this raw milk trend, please don't go there.
So just control it, and also with transporting things in the cold chain, that's extremely important.
Yes.
And then also egg. There are products or foods that contain raw egg. So we want to be careful with that. Some desserts, of course, have raw egg in as well. So always a well-cooked egg when you eat egg. Egg is a very good source of protein, so don't exclude it. Just make sure it's well cooked.
And raw egg can hide in weird things like mayonnaise, and I think ice cream can also be one of them.
So mayonnaise from the shelf, because there's stabilizers and so on in there, I won't worry about that. But homemade mayonnaise, I would be careful.
Okay. So if you're eating like at a fancy restaurant and you're having mayo with a meal, maybe ask them, because they would tend to make their own. They probably made their own mayo.
And I also think on the topic of eating out and so on, be careful with salad bars. Because the veggies there, I'm not saying it's not clean, but also staying at room temperature for very long increases your risk of food poisoning. So we be very careful with that, because we tend to eat healthier, we tend to increase the veggies and all those kind of things. So be careful with salad bars and so on. So rather eat then take them to the restaurant, the cooked veggies and not from a salad bar.
Yes. Well, what's a good way to like rinse your salady things, your leaves and your sprouts and whatever? Is there?
So I normally use water in my sink with just a little bit of salt. And then I mix it through, and then I would put it in a colander and just rinse it through again. So the salt is going off. But
yes.
That's the way I've been taught. So,
yes,
but it's just that just to make it, and also it can make it a little bit more crispy as well. So just that way. But also don't buy lots of veggies that it stays in your own fridge as well.
Yes.
Buy enough for a couple of days, and then you buy again, because then you always have fresh from the shelf as well.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you guys will get it. But so that's a class of stuff that these can be good and healthy foods, but it's the way,
it's the health risk.
It's the risk. They're not bad for you. Because I'll often hear moms tell one another, you mustn't eat sushi, it's bad for the baby. And that's not, it's not that it's bad for the baby, it's the potential risk of food poisoning. And food poisoning can be very bad when you're pregnant. Yeah.
But even not being pregnant, it can be extremely bad. You can even be admitted to hospital.
Yes.
So you really want to avoid that as far as possible.
Yeah. And remember that listeria, there was this big listeria outbreak, what was it, like 10 years ago or less?
Easily 10 years ago.
Yeah. And that was all the cold meats and
So if it's cold meat, also have something maybe that you make yourself, or like a roast beef, say for instance.
Yes.
Because you know it's cooked.
Yes.
And also buy from reliable sources as well. Don't just go and buy at any place. Make sure that you know the cold chain is not broken.
Okay. Remember, we have got a voucher of 2,500 Rand to give away. Thank you, PregOmega, but you've got to participate in the comments. We've got about 2 minutes left. Okay, so we covered the risky things. Now I'm going to ask just as a general thing then, okay, so there are things to avoid and we know now why, but there are also things that probably aren't like a great idea to eat for your general health and your baby's health while you're pregnant. And I mean, the first one that comes to mind for me is alcohol. Like, I just want to say, just don't.
Thing is, you never know what your risk is, or your genetic makeup, your body metabolism with alcohol and the effect on the baby.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to say, don't drink any alcohol.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Because for one person, one glass of wine would be fine, and for the next one, not. So it's just actually much safer to know.
To just know. Yeah. And then,
easier.
I mean, I guess when it comes to health, all healthy eating, like all the regular things apply that would usually apply. Try not to overdo the added sugars. Something
else also so people need to be careful with is caffeine.
Yes.
Because caffeine also, I mean, a cup of filtered coffee will give you 120, 150 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
And the guidelines are only 200 milligrams of caffeine a day for a pregnant woman. So it's 1.5 cups. It's not a glass. So be very careful with that. Be careful also with some herbal teas, because they can also contain caffeine, because you think it's herbal, but there's also caffeine in there. So rooibos tea is normally the safer option.
Yes.
So I think there, in the sense of that, is the caffeine we need to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then healthy eating.
Yes.
Regular meals, fresh veggies and fruit, your protein, your carb, a little bit of healthy fats in there. Plan your meals as well. If you maybe sit in the office, make sure that you pack your lunch with everything in there, maybe with a frozen bottle of water, because then you have everything. You don't have to go out and buy stuff.
You buy snacks and sort of trans fats is the one that I also try and avoid.
And that is processed in food that you actually want to avoid in general.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. So I hope you all got those. Like, it's my two categories, but the dangerous and the versus the not so healthy. Like, I don't like to label food healthy or unhealthy, but just make better choices. Thank you so much, Jeske.
Pleasure.
And there's a voucher up for grabs. Please let us know in the comments. Just let us know how far your pregnancy is along. We always love to hear from readers. And thank you for PregOmega for sponsoring these talks. There's another one tomorrow, and I'll put the poster for tomorrow's talk in. We've got 4 in total coming up over the next while.